Alright guys, so for this trick we can have the spectator shuffle the cards as much as they would like to. You guys can see here there's no order to the cards or anything like that. All the cards are completely shuffled. So for this trick we're going to have the spectator select any card, and let's say they touch this one. It's a completely free choice. And in the real trick I wouldn't want to see what it is, but in this case it's okay if I look at it because I don't have a spectator. So we have the 7 of clubs in this case, so we're just going to go ahead and leave that card in the center of the pack, and we will get back to it in just a little bit. So as you probably noticed, I have this yellow rubber band here around my wrist, and we're actually going to be using it pretty extensively in this trick, because what's going to happen is we're actually going to wrap it here around the entire deck, and then let's actually double knot it, because then it will be a little bit more tight around the deck. That will just make it a little bit more hard. So now that the rubber band is tied around the deck, you can see it really is tied around the deck. I'm going to try and make it find your card, okay? So all we're going to do is this. 1, 2, 3, just like that. And you kind of wave, and you see the rubber band completely vanishes from the entire deck. You can see that, right? But all we have to do is remember what your card was. It was the 7 of clubs, I believe, right? All we have to do is this. We just snap and drop the deck. And look, the rubber band reappears. The entire deck is free from the rubber band, but there's only one card now trapped in the rubber band, and your card was the 7 of clubs. Perfect. That is the trick, guys, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. So now for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So for this trick, all you need is a normal deck, which can be completely shuffled by the spectator. It really does not matter. And you also just need a normal rubber band. And I'm using a different one than I did in the performance, just so that you guys can see it really does work with any rubber band. So just get out a rubber band, a deck of cards, and I guess the only setup is put your rubber band around your wrist in the beginning of the trick, and that will be the only setup that you have to do. Other than that, this trick is completely impromptu. So you can start out by having the spectator shuffle the deck, cut the deck as many times as they want. Then you're going to take the deck back, and you're going to have them select a card, and whichever card they pick, you're not going to look at it. So let's say we have the 10 of diamonds in this case, and then in whatever method you want, you're going to have to control this card so that it comes to the top of the deck. So in the performance, I did a turnover pass, which looks something like this. So basically you guys can do whatever method you want to control the card to the top of the deck, but once you have it on top, you're actually going to set the deck down face up, and then take the rubber band off your wrist, and you're going to hand it over to the spectator to examine. So when they're checking out this rubber band, you're going to get a pinky pull down on their selection, which is going to be the top card in this case here. So just pull down on their card, and then when the spectator's done looking at the rubber band, you're going to be placing the rubber band around every single card here, but you're not going to be placing it around this card. So that's the reason why you're holding it back with your pinky, because you're going to be doing this, putting it around the entire deck, but you're holding back that one card, so the rubber band does not go around this card. This next part is probably going to be the hardest part for some of you, but with practice, it will become much more easier to do. So you're going to taking the rubber band here, extending it out, and then you're going to be twisting it over, putting this top half in the back, and then hooking on your middle finger, just like this. And then you're going to twist it back, and then you're going to put this loop around the entire deck. And when I say the entire deck, I mean also including their top card. Then you're going to be holding a loop here with your middle finger, and all you're going to do is slowly extend your middle finger, and that will slowly release it. And then you're going to be twisting the deck 180 degrees like this, and that will kind of lock the loop in place. I will get much more in depth if you guys were just confused there. You're going to take the rubber band here, and you're going to be basically placing it around the entire deck besides their card. So every single card is around the rubber band, but their card is on the bottom here. So at this point, you're going to be taking the top half of the rubber band, extending it out like this, and you see there's the front part here and the back part here. So you're going to use your thumb here on the front part, and you're going to be basically pushing it here to the back of the deck, and then your middle finger is going to be hooking on it just like this. So once your middle finger is hooked onto that back part, you're going to be twisting it back over just like this. So now there's a loop here, and this big loop, which I'm holding with these 3 fingers, is going to go over the entire deck just like this. So you're just going to be taking this and placing it over the entire deck, and also this does include the spectator's card. So now you're just going to bring everything down, and you'll notice that you're actually holding now a loop with your middle finger. So all you're going to do now is slowly release this loop here with your middle finger, and it's going to actually be caught in between the other 2 parts. So when you're just clutching it like this, you're just going to be applying pressure with your middle finger on that little loop there, and then you're going to rotate the deck 180 degrees while you're still holding pressure with that, and that should essentially lock that loop right there in place. And you guys can see, if I focus the camera here, you guys should see that the loop is just being caught in between the other rubber band because the material will just allow it to stick to the other side. So that's basically what's happening here. The entire deck is now being wrapped around this rubber band, but when you release this loop, it's actually going to fly around the deck and it's going to only be contacting their selection, which is on the bottom. So now you're going to be rubbing the base of your thumb along the loop here, and that's going to loosen it up here. So once you show that the deck is here, and I like to cover this little loop here, I just like to cover it, and then I like to flip my wrist over, showing that the rubber band really is around the entire deck. And that's a really good convincer. You're just hiding that little loop there. All you're going to do now is rub the base of your thumb along the side of the deck, and that's going to loosen up the loop so that when you release pressure, it's actually going to be released and it's going to fly around the deck. And you're going to be covering this with your hand. So when you bring your hand over, you're just going to release pressure. And this is the exposed view. It's going to look something like this. You're just going to release pressure. And the rubber band's going to fly around, and now you're going to see that it's only around their selection, which is on the bottom. So when you do that, now you're just going to spread the cards out and then quickly just cut the deck in half like this. And then at this point, their card's going to be in the middle, and then you can snap your fingers and spread through the cards like this. And now clearly there's going to be something wrong in the middle, and then you're going to see that there's only one card now with this rubber band on it, and it should be their selection, just like this. So anyways, guys, that's pretty much the entire trick. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. So stay tuned for more videos coming soon, and see you guys next time. Bye.